All right, great. And so we are live. Well, hello. Just sort of pop in the group because being asked a question. The question is this. It's, well, what effect does this winning environment have on a student? I mean, I've been talking like the last couple of videos about how I set up my course, my ACE Chem Accelerated program, which allow students to get an A star in A-level chemistry in less than 16 weeks. And yeah, parents have been asking questions. And of course, the question that they've been asking is, well, do you do one-to-one or do you do group? And I talked about this yesterday. He said, well, no, I don't do one-to-one because it doesn't get you the result that you want, because at the end of the day, you want a result. You're not just paying like an hourly rate for a tutor to come out and work with your child. And I don't do group either because, group, if it's done correctly, it's good. But on the other hand, if it's not done correctly, well, then it works out for the tutor and it works out for the parent because they get like a discount on the price, but it doesn't get the result for the child. So anyway, how I run it in my course is I run a course. It's a classroom setting. And so the question is, well, yeah, you mentioned this winning environment, Graham. Like, well, what exactly is this winning environment and why is it so important to the result that my child's going to get? I mean, does it actually do anything? And the answer is, well, yes, it does. Okay. It moves that grade by letter grades. All right. It's a really just like, they just take off like a rocket. And the reason is because of three factors. All right. Now, number one, it's study skills, like skills in general. And number two, it's motivation. And number three, it's peer-based learning. All right. So let me explain what I mean by this one. So if your child is working in a one-to-one setting, or if they was working in a group setting, which seems to be popular these days, they don't have the ability to learn off each other as well as if they were in a classroom setting. Meaning that, if your child is spending hours studying A-level chemistry and they're not getting the result that they want, okay? If they're in one-to-one, well, they don't have any way of upping their skill set. They can't level up because they got nobody to go bounce the idea off of. We don't want to say, have you tried this one? Whereas in the classroom setting, which is what I use in my course, the students are all in a Slack channel. And so of course, like they can all say, well, yeah, I didn't get, I spent hours doing homework. Like, what are you doing to get the homework done so quickly? And then, peers, they can talk to the peers and it's gonna be like, well, yeah, have you thought about doing this study hack that he mentioned? Have you thought about doing this time hack that he mentioned? Have you thought about studying this way? Have you thought about this time management hack that he uses? And so bottom line is that they can start to level up their study skills. All right. And so they're going to start to pass the end of unit tests with a higher grade. They can start getting the coursework in. They can start get the homework submitted in at a higher, with a higher grade coming back in less time. It also works with revision strategies. Again, if your child is not getting the grade that they want on the end of unit tests or the UCAS or the mock, you're thinking, you've got to intervene now. But having said that, if they don't have anybody that they can bounce ideas off of, well, how are they going to improve? And so this is the problem, like one-to-one, there's no way that they can possibly improve. And so, they're not going to say, well, how I revise is I use this. Say like, for example, I use flashcards, I use Quizlet, I use Flashcard Hero, like whatever, in order to get the definitions down. Or how I revise the calculation questions is I do this. This is a strategy that I use. And so it's kind of like they're always bouncing ideas off each other. And then what happens is that the skill set in the group begins to rise, like they say, a rising tide raises all boats. Okay. And so bottom line is this is the advantage of working in a classroom environment, is that they can level up their skills in a really short amount of time. All right. And they can have access to different ways of thinking about things that they wouldn't have if they were doing, say, one-to-one or the traditional group tutoring approach, right? The second thing is that they can learn off each other. Now, look, I mean, I was in school 40 odd years ago. Okay. And it's like, I can recall, the teacher who's standing in front of the green board with a piece of chalk, because it's like how far I'm going back, green board with a piece of chalk, right? And you're thinking, yeah, I got no idea what he's talking about. And then I can recall, turning around to a friend of mine saying, well, did you get what we're talking about? They go, oh yeah, great. Look, all you got to do is this. Look, see, you take the equation here and you make this variable the subject, and then you put the data in, and you got to do this little conversion here of the units. Then you put in the calculator. Oh, then here's the answer. And if you can, oh, okay. Well, glad you explained that. Or maybe I had to go teach somebody else. Like maybe like somebody say to me, well, how do you do this? And you go, well, it's easy. I mean, you got this, and then you got that, and then this bit. Oh, got it. And so, it's this conversation that they have in like educational lingo. It's like peer-based learning is what it is. It's this conversation that they have with each other in the classroom environment in my course that allows, again, they can reinforce the concept that they know, they can learn what they don't know, and then the rising tide raises all boats. Okay. The third advantage is this one, is motivation. Yeah. Look, what I say is this: A-level chemistry is a marathon. It is not a sprint. So yeah, it's great. In year 12, all the students like super excited. Yeah, I'm taking A-level chemistry. I did really well at GCSE. And then the end of unit tests begin to come in, and then the workload begins to increase, and the practicals have to be written, and they've got this UCAS test coming up. And then before you know it, the motivation begins to drop. Now, again, if you're in a one-to-one setting, just working with a tutor, well, you don't have anybody in your peer group to go bounce off the idea that maybe you should, keep your eyes on the prize and think long-term here, okay? But in the classroom setting that I use in my course, all the students are in a group, they're in a cohort, and so they can say to each other, yeah, look, you know what you got to do? Come on, put like an extra hour in. All right, get this work done. Oh, come on. The test is coming up on Friday. I mean, do you want to go study for like an hour? All right, and so bottom line is they can all work together, and the good ideas, the positive habits, the teaching moments, they all rub off on each other. And then, like I keep saying, rising tide raises all boats. All right. Now, I use this idea in my own life. I mean, yeah, I have coaches, I have trainers, I have mentors, I'm in mastermind programs, absolutely. And the thing is that I get benefit from using this approach because number one is what it does is that it makes you accountable. So, if I'm working with a coach and say, yeah, I'm going to get this done in 72 hours, well, then I have to get it done in 3 days, don't I? Because otherwise I'm going to have a conversation with my coach and they're going to go, did you do it? And I go, no. Right. And that just doesn't sit well with me, because if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to go do it. All right. But also, again, the coaching and the training programs that I'm in, rising tide raises all boats. You're thinking, I'm enhancing my own study skills, my own business skills, my own speaking skills, like whatever it is, the coaching program that I'm in, my own marketing skills, right? It doesn't matter. I'm getting ideas like skills from other people, so, oh, this is how you're doing this, is it? Oh, great. Let me have a look at this approach. Oh, I like this idea. I'll go borrow this one. All right. And so this is what I mean by, me, number one, yeah, I'm upping my skills all the time because look, it's simple. What they say is this, is that you can't have the future that you want using the skill set that you have. You need to level up your skill set in order to be successful. Number two is, again, we get in these coaching programs and training programs. Yeah, you need to explain things to other people. Oh, yeah. So you can ask a question, like I can ask a question to people in the group, and then they can ask me a question. And of course, it's that teaching moment that allows you to really understand the concept. All right. And of course, the last one is motivation. Yeah, I'm in a group. I'm in coaching programs. We all keep each other motivated, right? We're all working on different projects. Okay. And so I can say, my own personal experience, that I've worked in winning environments. And by working in a winning environment with a coach, with a mentor, with a trainer, I've managed to level up my skill set. I've managed to level up my strategies. I've managed to increase my mindset in a certain area. All right. So this is how, you move along in life, isn't it? All right. Because at the end of the day, it's this, real simple. You're not paying an hourly rate for a tutor to come out and tutor your child in A-level chemistry. You are paying for a result. You are investing in a result for your child. At the end of the day, when your child gets a report back on how they did in A-level chemistry, there's a little box next to A-level chemistry. And in this little box is where they put the grade. It isn't to the right of the box, is this entire paragraph to go, well, they worked so hard in A-level chemistry. They spent hours every night completing homework sets, doing stacks and stacks of past paper questions. Oh, the lab report write-ups were seriously immaculate. Oh, they up all night burning the oil, revising for their end of unit tests and the UCAS exams. They worked all this, like they put in all this effort. No, it's just a little box with a grade in it. All right. That's my point being is that you need to help your child. You need to help your child be successful in A-level chemistry by investing in them and giving them the opportunity to level up their skill set, level up their motivation, and have the opportunity to learn in the best environment possible so that they get the result that they want at the end of 2 years. Okay, so look, if what I said, if it makes sense to you, then around this video, leave a comment, send me a message, and we can have a conversation on Zoom, and then I can explain to you, I can show you the game plan and how all this fits in together to help your child get the results that they want in A-level chemistry so that they can study medicine, go to dental school, veterinary programs, medical programs at the top universities of their choice in the UK. All right. So hope I answered the question on this one. Everybody take care, and I'll see you on the next one.